Hi guys, welcome back to episode 13 of Thinkers and Drinkers with Cigars. Today we got a special episode for lucky number 13 with Spirits with Spirits. I'm Rich,
Jason.
and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give us some love, and you'll get notifications every time we post a new video. The afterlife.
Yeah, that's a whole topic amongst itself.
Mm-hmm.
People have been talking about it for years. I mean, this goes back, before written history, I think, when it was just the stories.
Yeah, and like the first recorded, I guess it's on a stone tablet or something, which is weird because there's a 6,000 year gap between 8,000 BC and 2000 BC. And the first recorded was in Mesopotamia of ghosts on a tablet, I guess. What do you feel about spirits?
I don't know. There's so many stories. There's so many legends going back so many years. There's got to be something, right?
Yeah. I mean, where do we go? Where do we go? Do we just end?
I hope somebody just chucks me, just the old cremation dust gone away.
Yeah, but still, there's still a you, and there's still like I believe in energy, and I believe that gets transferred to something else, somewhere else. I don't believe it's just.
Well, I've got a lot of
down.
Bad energy from lifetimes past then build up.
You believe in the post
reincarnation?
Yeah.
Nah, not really.
Really? You don't feel like there's any kind of residue left over from lessons you need to still learn?
No. No. That'll probably be a discussion that the wife and I have because she'll tell me I'm wrong, but no.
Like for a long time, I thought that was it. This is what we got. Curtains down, fade to black. And that's it for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And just, we got maybe, 50 years of people maybe remembering us, unless we're a celebrity.
Yeah.
Unless our community makes us celebrities. But outside of that, okay. Like I have things from my grandparents, and I still feel their energy from it. I have an old clock from my grandfather and some of his tailoring tools. I've got an old pan. My grandmother, when I use her pan, I feel like her spirit's with me, sitting there over my shoulder, going, "I wouldn't do it like that."
Maybe some memories. Maybe some memories. That's kind of making it like that.
True. Okay, I can see that. I can totally see that.
But now I'm still the once it's over, turn off the lights and exit stage left.
I'd like to believe that afterwards I get to be with my loved ones. I'm not sure where it is. There's all the religions point to pretty much be decent. But I'd like to believe that when I go, I'll, see my ancestors, my loved ones, my pets.
I think the older you get, you either kind of lean one way or the other. The older you get, you either kind of maybe find a religion, or maybe not even so much a religion, but a belief system.
Yeah.
Or you go the other way.
Yeah, and then it's just it.
That's it.
Have you ever had any? I mean, we all of us have been ghost hunting, and my girlfriend and your wife were sitting trying to take pictures. Your wife caught a picture, and while Steph was standing behind her, they saw a specter or whatever go past the frame.
I told him it was just the local streaker.
That was a quick.
That was a quick streaker.
Yeah, he was not that much of an exhibitionist.
Yep.
He was that fast. It's like an exhibitionist in training.
Right. But now, I mean, this goes back. There's all kinds of things with ghosts and spirits and stuff. Like exorcisms is a big thing. Remember all the movies from the 70s and 80s and everything. So there's that. What do you think about that stuff?
This one, uh, I don't know. I am so on the fence with exorcisms. On one side, I'm like, this is probably the church using propaganda to get believers. But then there are things like them speaking in tongues they've never, in languages that they've never learned or knew about.
Speaking of churches, did you see here the current week the one pastor that locked his congregation in the church?
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And to,
demanded that they all together donate an amount of $40,000 before they leave that day.
that's crazy.
Yeah, that happened. It made national news.
Huh. Did he get the money?
I don't think he got the money.
Did he get arrested?
I think he's in trouble.
Yeah, I would.
I would imagine he's in pretty big trouble. But he literally had his ushers lock the doors and not let people out.
I'm going to do that at our next party here and get all you to donate 40 grand.
I mean,
I'll serve burgers.
I was like, cheesy criminy, but yeah, that's as far as exorcisms. I think that was probably something from eons ago, by the church when we didn't understand. When we thought, putting leeches and drawing the blood out, cured medical ailments and such, So yeah,
and I could see how we could look at schizophrenia as being possessed and not knowing. We didn't know that psychology back then, so they probably thought there's a demon in that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bit of the crazy.
Just a little bit of the crazy, a little bit. But yeah, it's a whole thing. You got the Ghost Hunters TV shows, and my favorite Ghost Hunter show of all time, the greatest show ever for hunting ghosts.
Knight Rider.
No. It taught us as kids that when you took the mask off the monster,
oh yes,
it was just a person.
Yeah.
What show was that?
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. That was the whole lesson. I don't think that of the show that
it's Old Man Withers.
Yeah, because of you meddling kids. But that's what that show taught us. But we didn't know what they were telling us then. But the monsters were just people.
Yeah, and there's that whole thing of be more scared of people than because they're more dangerous.
Yeah, but that was my favorite Ghost Hunter show. I don't think anything we're making now quite compares to the 1960s something Scooby-Doo.
I'm not gonna lie, we do watch a lot of, not so much the Ghost Hunter show, but a lot of Ghost Hunter YouTube stuff. And I've been kind of messing with the little silly online or app tools, and they're fake. But they have all these devices and stuff. But every time they encounter something, and they're supposed to be hunting to prove, they run scared. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm like, what are you doing? This is your job.
Yeah.
We're watching you. We're giving you ratings, and you're leaving.
Right.
And every time they go to an old house, and they hear something upstairs, and it's an old house, they think, oh, it's a ghost. To me, squatters. Squatters are trying to evade them so they don't get arrested, so they could do their drugs.
Yeah. Yep. But no, the ghost hunting thing, it's a tale as old as time. I don't think we'll ever really know.
I don't
ever
know. I think we might.
Eventually? Is that not like what's considered one of the mysteries of life?
Yeah. Is death.
What happens after that?
Now, if you think about it, there are way more people dead. Like, there's 9 billion on the planet.
More dead people than what there is
alive. And what keeps them on this plane and not going up or down?
The stupidity of the people around now.
Do they just want to see or not leave? I don't know.
It's kind of like when the aliens fly by, they lock their windows on their spaceship when they go by Earth.
Yeah, if they land in the wrong neighborhood, they're going to lose their tires. Yeah, but like, I can't get my head around. If you're here, you can't touch anything. Are you here? Are they here because they're unalived, or they got unalived by somebody else, and they don't know that they are, or they need to figure it out, or they want to just look after loved ones? I mean, you have all this stuff that you're watching for eons.
Unfinished business.
Yeah, but like all of a sudden an iPad comes out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't play with it. You can't touch anything.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's quite the discussion for people,
Mm-hmm.
of where this goes or what happens afterwards, and yeah, nobody's ever gonna know.
I
You
don't know.
know,
I think we might. I think the crazy little CERN collider thing that's in Switzerland or whatever is gonna open up some hole.
the collider.
Yeah, it's gonna open up some hole, and then everything's gonna come out of it.
Yep. I mean, a lot of it too is, another part of this is like haunted items and everything. People say this is possessed or that you don't want to mess with that, or stuff like that.
And we do a lot of thrifting, and we're always concerned: is there something attached to this item?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the artifacts, I believe, have something, but I feel like lore and stories and maybe just gravity.
Now, even though I'm not big on the whole ghost thing and everything, I am more towards like where you don't mess with certain things. Like you don't mess with the cemetery. You don't mess with the civilizations that were here before us. The archaeology,
Yeah.
digging stuff up. As neat as it is to see that stuff, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Those people put it there. Don't mess with it. Don't touch it. You don't know. You just don't know.
Especially if it's all wrapped in weird stuff and it says don't open.
Yeah.
But we got curiosity. We're going to open it up.
It killed the cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't think I just think we should leave that kind of stuff alone.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this cigar?
It's pretty good. It's got a good taste to it.
Yeah, this is a new brand. Gurkha. They are about 100 years old, this company. They're out of Dominican Republic, but their headquarters were just down the street where I grew up, like 10 minutes away in Tamarack, Florida, which I thought was kind of unique. And this particular cigar is called Ghost Exorcism, or Ghost Exorcist. Thought it was appropriate for this episode.
It is appropriate, along with the beer we got,
which is Meat After Midnight,
right?
Which is got a kind of a bloodish.
Yeah, it actually, when I first took a sip of it, I was not impressed. I think I used the word tardy.
Yeah, totally tardy.
But now I see me finishing it, and
yeah, it's like a juice spritzer.
Yeah,
you slutty beer. We go to cemeteries quite often to go sighting, and we've actually captured quite a bit of stuff. I'll post the pictures, and we've got a couple of audio that we sent them to you guys, and it was like I'll put them up so you guys could hear it. And one of them feels like the person is right here. It's so loud, and the lady's like, "You won't guess what we have on tap." And we played it over and over, and it just feels like she's right here speaking to us.
I remember listening to that, and that is what it sounded like to me. I just figured you guys were at the pub.
No, we were.
I literally, I was like, well, guys, that was at the pub.
No, we were at a gravestone when that happened. And yeah, like I'll put it up. I'll put it up, and you guys could hear it.
I don't know. I have to wait till I can listen back. But you can't. You can't.
I got it on temp.
Have you ever had like a presence ghost experience?
No, but I will tell you a story. This is a pretty good story. So years ago, I was probably 17. Me and one of my best friends, we were in a car with two other people,
Mm-hmm.
and we were driving down the road. It was 603, and there was a place called Mary Jane's Grave just outside, kind of like Perrysville, Loudonville, and we were going to go there. So we were driving down 603, and we had just kind of went to the bottom of the hill. And as soon as I went down the hill, we seen a car flipped upside down and a woman flashing her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, 16, 17-year-old kids, we went around it, kept going, got the hell out of there, looked in the paper the next day and everything, and there was nothing about that.
So that could have been
True story.
That could have been a sighting.
Yeah. So we definitely didn't go to the grave. We turned
just
around and went back.
it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, that give me chills.
Yes.
Before I moved here, the house I lived in South Florida, I always felt the something. And I always knew when it was there because my two cats, they would either hang in this one corner in my bedroom or on this landing in the stairs. And I know it was there because both my cats would turn their head at the same time at it. And I'm hoping it was someone just checking in, looking after me. But every time they did that, I got like a chill. And I felt of something. And my girlfriend, when she was growing up, they call it the Splendor House, which is funny because it was haunted AF. And it was like this great name, Splendor House, because it was on Splendor Avenue. And she has seen and felt ghosts all the time. She won't go back into the house anymore because of that. She's got audio recordings from it where the guy says, "I see you." And honestly, I kind of want to go to feel it.
Let me know how that works out for you. Right?
Her dad still lives in that house.
Definitely good cigar this time around.
Yeah. This is good.
Yep.
Did you ever have any of in your peripheral stuff where you got to look to see if something's there?
No.
I get that all the time. Where I feel like I'm seeing something here and I got to look and it's not there. And that drives me crazy. You guys know I just lost my cat and I feel like he's still showing up. I see him still all the time. And like I even hear him, but I think that's just something in my head. But he's got spots where his patterns were during the day, and I see him there quickly, and then he's gone. We here in Davidson have a local ghost story. We took the ghost tour. It's the Carolina Inn that is now a faculty office for Davidson College, and it has a history. The gentleman, Dr. Helper, built it in 1848, and it was a hotel and a store. I think the lore is that his daughter died in the inn, and people say that they've seen sightings of her up on the balcony.
Oh, I do remember that on the tour.
Yeah, that was the stop right before the cemetery.
Yeah, that was definitely creepy.
Another story. My girlfriend's mom lived in a house in Greendale Street, and behind it used to be a factory that fell into a sinkhole and killed a bunch of people. And while my girlfriend was staying there, they heard this guy that was in the house, a spirit, and his name was Randy. He knew Steph's dog's names. That's just creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I believe she has a recording of that one too. And she also stayed in a castle in England. It's like this old castle. She stayed in the warden's room, and she's got some pictures of ghosts everywhere. And then out in the courtyard, she has a picture where there's like an angel-ish figure in the picture, and that I'll post that up.
I think there's been a lot of pictures that are just not explainable. You know, from everybody all over the world.
Like I know that there's sometimes camera errors and bugs or lint dust that goes across the lens, but sometimes it's pretty realistic. And there's that thing called pareidolia, which is where we see faces and stuff and we think it's a person, but it's just like, you know, tree bark or whatever.
Yeah.
And I know that happens a lot in those photos that people post with ghosts. What do you guys think of ghosts? Tell us your thoughts.